Morning, peeps. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, let's see what there is to talk about from the world of boxing today. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget as well to like and share the vid. Spread the word, peeps. Spread the word. Thank you so much as well, by the way, to everyone that's left a message underneath the studio video. Bloody hell, so much positivity. It's nice to see. It really is. Again, I said on the video, I didn't really want to show you what it looked like now, but I think you're going to appreciate it more when it's done, knowing what it's come from. I think that was the plan, to kind of show you what it looked like, and it is just a box. I think some people thought, when I said I was moving into a studio, I think some people maybe thought like a pre-designed, kind of fixed studio. No. It's just a box that we're going to make into something. So yeah, as you saw in the video, loads of work to be done, loads of work. But that's the fun part, right? I don't look. This isn't for the short term. You know, this is for the next couple of years. So even if it does take a bit longer to move in, there's no rush, and we still do videos here. But I do want to be in soon, sooner rather than later, because I am fucking paying monthly rent there. So it would be nice to not throw that away. So yeah, we're gonna get some work done this week. Friday, Saturday. I'm going to record all the work that's been done, by the way, and then obviously have that in a video to show you guys exactly what we did step by step. But yeah, shit's happening. Hey, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen that, what's his name again? Sean Bean program on BBC One called Time with Stephen Graham's in it as well. Fantastic. Best thing I've seen on British TV in a couple of years. Like, for me, I like that kind of stuff over Line of Duty. Line of Duty was very good. Luther, very good. But Time, if you've not seen it, I can't recommend it enough. Really, really good. And I'll be shocked if Sean Bean don't win a BAFTA. It's that good. Really is. It's a 3-part series. It's all on BBC iPlayer now. You can watch all of them back to back. I watched all of them back to back, hence why I'm up very late, because I went to bed like 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Couldn't stop. Anyway, enough of that. Let's see what there is to talk about from the world of boxing today. There wasn't much boxing on over the weekend. I know Chris Colbert, he had a fight. We'll touch on that. I've not seen it, so I don't really. It's difficult to touch on it. But obviously, he's now a player in the 130-pound division. Again, these divisions are getting stacked. I'm in 130 pounds now, looking kind of good. It's looking kind of. It was always looked good. Now it's just looking a bit thicker as well. But yeah, I didn't watch it. I've heard it was a shutout, good performance, no knockouts, no knockdowns, I don't believe. But Chris Colbert's here. He's here and he brings a bit of colour to the boxing world. All right, Tyson Fury, my brother Tommy will knock Jake Paul out cold next. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. not planning to retire, vows to fight on next. Tony Bellew, Wilder might be biggest puncher since Mike Tyson, but no skill set to match it. I don't see no lies there. No lies there. He could be the biggest puncher. He really could be. I'll tell you who was a big puncher that maybe gets slept on a little bit now. Vitaly Klitschko. What is he? I think he is Dr. Iron Fist. I think Vladimir is Dr. Steelhammer. Vitaly could punch. And so could Vlad. So could Vlad, but Vlad just didn't have that nasty killer instinct and killer streak that Vitaly had. But Vitaly, at one stage, had the highest KO percentage in boxing history, heavyweight boxing history. Yeah, but obviously Deontay Wilder has since surpassed that. But he's right, Deontay Wilder's boxing ability is bad. It's bad. It's weird, like, I don't know who to blame for that. Like, I don't know if that's a Deontay Wilder thing or Bree. I don't know who is it. Like, who do you look at and say, okay, why has that not been improved? Is it because he just punches like a mule and we forget it? Like, you've got to improve on his boxing ability. And that scares me because I'm a big fan of, I'm going to forget his name now. Jesus Christ. He's a 168-pound guy coming up. 17 fights, 17 wins, 16 by knockout. All the knockouts were in the first round. Sorry, it's going to bug me. Edgar Berland? Sorry, one sec, peeps. Edgar Berlanga. Sorry, we're still half asleep. Edgar Berlanga. That's someone as well that's like, okay, we know you've got the power. Edgar Berlanga's got more boxing ability than Deontay Wilder. Trust me. Decent amateur record as well. But you're going to need to, like, you can't just rely on that. And I almost feel like Deontay Wilder's not worked on X, Y, and Z or A, B, and C because, oh, I've got the power to knock people out. Now, all of a sudden, when you can't knock them out, it's like, oh, shit, what do we do? Because he does look, he honestly, one-trick pony. One-trick pony. And people might say he's got a good 1-2. Okay. Is that what? We need more than that, man. Sana became WBC heavyweight world champion. It's not that shabby, is it? Gassiev's coach likes Tepper fight at this stage, wants tougher foes in the future. Gassiev's progress into the heavyweight division has been, it's been slow to say the least. But the thing about Gassiev is that Gassiev, I'm sure, is only something like 27, 28. Yeah, 27. I know he looks about 50, but he's only 27. So they've still got time with him. He's had his injuries. So when he fought Alexander Usyk in 2018, this was July 2018, had the injuries, didn't fight again until the 31st of October 2020. So two and a bit years later, had a couple of putouts, and now he's fighting Erkan Tepper. Now, a lot of you might remember Erkan Tepper. Erkan Tepper was the guy that, I believe, it's the same guy, isn't it? The guy that beat David Price, yep. And then that was in 2015, and then got done for steroids. Although that win is still here. It's not like been turned into a no contest or anything. But it's a good little matchup. I mean, Erkan Tepper's a guy that's kind of floated around as well. Fought Christian Hamer, fought Marius Vac, lost all these, by the way. Hellenius. But he's been in with decent names. So it's a decent fight for Gassiev, but he's got to go after that. This is it, right? You've got to go. I mean, there's too many guys in around the top 30 that you can match up with. So he's got to go. Charles Martin rips Dillian Whyte. You're coming to America to fight a bum. Stop hiding behind Eddie Hearn. It's weird. I saw his video. I don't know if you guys have seen like a little 20-second or 50-second Instagram video, and he's calling Dillian Whyte out, basically. He wants that fight. It's a money fight-ish for him. It's not a big money fight. Obviously, he mentioned on there that the ones that he wants is Fury and AJ in terms of the money fights, but it's a fight nonetheless. I like it. I like the fight. A lot of people have said, oh, Dillian Whyte will run over Charles Martin. No, not run over. I think this Charles Martin's I think a lot of people haven't watched Charles Martin's last couple of fights, especially the one against Kaunaki where he got beat, but he looked good for a long time in that fight. And the fight against Gerald Washington where he stopped Gerald Washington. I think people in their heads are still remembering the Charles Martin that fought AJ. And maybe that was years ago. Charles Martin is greatly improved from that. So, look, I don't think he beats Dillian Whyte because Dillian Whyte's a very good heavyweight, but it's a good fight. It's not a scrub fight at all, and I would not mind seeing it. You can understand why Charles Martin's calling for this fight because it's a fight that puts him in a really good position. It's not just the money, which obviously helps, but it puts him in a good position when it comes to, look, if you beat Dillian Whyte, two things happen. You fight him again for more money, or you go on to fight someone even higher ranked. And there's not many people higher ranked than Dillian Whyte. So this is worth it for Charles Martin. This isn't necessarily worth it for Dillian Whyte. There have been a couple of names rumoured for Dillian Whyte. But we'll see what happens. He was supposed to fight in July, August. Those are not happening, obviously. So it's probably going to be October for Dillian Whyte. And I wouldn't mind Charles Martin. I really wouldn't. I don't know Charles Martin's contract situation with PBC, but yeah, I'm sure they'll let him fight on DAZN. So it's a good welcome to America fight. I mean, it's good. Fight someone that the American public somewhat know, and someone that's looked pretty good in his recent performances. I like it. Eddie Hearn, Jamal Charlo needs to be careful about becoming complacent. May end up like Crawford. Eddie Hearn really wants Jamal Charlo to fight Demetrius Andrade. Like, really wants it to happen. And you can understand why, because let's be real about it. Not much has happened for Demetrius Andrade. It's like he's really struggling to get Andrade a fight with anyone. There has been some talk in the last, few weeks about Demetrius Andrade versus Chris Eubank Jr. Don't know. Is that big enough for Demetrius Andrade at this stage of his career? I mean, he wants the Jamal Charlo fight desperately. They've been going back and forth. I say going back and forth. He's been goading Jamal Charlo for the best part of 4 or 5 years. I remember, maybe even longer. I remember when he used to turn up to press conferences and have a go at both of them, Jamal and Jamal. But look, Jamal's doing his business. I think Eddie Hearn needs to flip that, and I could read it out like Demetrius Andrade needs to be careful about becoming complacent, may end up like Crawford, because Demetrius Andrade's a 2-week world champion, and in fact, it's more him to Crawford than Jamal to Crawford. I mean, you look at his record and say, okay, 2-week world champion, then people will do what they do to Crawford, but who's he fought? This is Andrade I'm talking about. Who's he fought? So I think Eddie Hearn, I get what he's doing, but I think he needs to focus more on finding an Andrade opponent, whether or not that's Jamal Charlo or someone. Because, again, I said this the other day on a video or a couple of weeks ago, that Andrade has been signed to Matchroom and DAZN for I don't know how long now, since they moved to America. So let's just say 16, 18 months, I don't know. And in that time, Callum Smith's been able to get the Canelo fight. Billy Joe Saunders has got the Canelo fight. So you've been able to get those two a Canelo fight. What about me? People will say he's at 160. He'll go up. He'll go up. What about me? He'll vacate. And you know the way it works with the WBO. He'll become mandatory at 168. He'll vacate at 160 and go to 168. He's clearly struggling at 160 anyway. What about me, Eddie? What about me? Get me a big fight, Eddie. Please, Eddie. Man, as for Crawford, that's another video in itself. Michael Rivera, did you see that knockout of John Fernandez, by the way? Beautiful. He's one to look out for in the future. He is really one to look out for. I was asked the other day by someone about my prospects for 2021. Who am I looking out for the second half of 2021? Who's impressed me? I mentioned Conor Benn, just because, again, there's two sides to boxing. There's what you do in the ring and there's what you do out of the ring for me, in terms of promote yourself, in terms of get people interested in your product. You can be as good as anyone if no one's coming to watch, and it doesn't matter. Conor Benn, people are coming to watch, people are tuned in. I'll always reference his YouTube channel. I mentioned Edgar Berlanga as well, where I just spoke about, but Michael Rivera should be there. Someone also asked me for my fighter of the year for the halfway stage, obviously being July now, and I said Canelo. I said no one else has fought twice this year. Not that no one top anyway. And say what you want about Canelo's opponents. Canelo's fought twice, which is tick tick for me. Tick tick. Marius Bradis, the IBF Cruiserweight champion, obviously the World Boxing Super Series champion, has announced his move to heavyweight. I think he's too small. I think he's too small for heavyweight. How old is Bradis? Bradis called out Logan Paul the other day, by the way, like proper call out video. And I was like, geez, man. Sorry, no. I'm sorry. It's too late. It's too late. Anything else? Caleb Plant. Interesting story at the bottom, but we'll read this one very quickly. What is the time? Fuck, we're late. I always do this to myself. At Caleb Plant, a lot of variables going into Canelo Saunders, and we saw several play out. I do hope we get Plant Canelo. You want to see undisputeds, right? You want to see unification fights. You do. And you just hope that Plant can bring something different to the stage. Like right now, it's getting to the stage where Canelo almost looks Genuinely looks unbeatable, doesn't he? Like, he looks scary. I just want someone to dent him. I just want to see his legs buckle a little bit. I want someone to show me that this man still is human. Because right now he's running through people and it's like, geez, man, I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it. I'm trying to think of someone that's been as dominant as him. I can't think of anyone in recent years that's been as dominant whereby, I mean, there was a period where Floyd was super dominant and GGG, but GGG was fighting kind of B-level opponents. Canelo, I mean, these are world champions. Say what you want about them. These are unbeaten world champions. He's running through unbeaten world champions like they are D-list celebrities. Not even D-list boxers, D-list celebrities. Unbeaten boys, you know. Callum Smith, big, strong Callum Smith, didn't want to know. Billy Joe Saunders, skillful, unbeaten, confident, didn't want to know. Caleb Plant now, unbeaten, big at 168. Let's see. Canelo is 5'7". 5'8" at best. At best, I can give him an inch. Running through, man. This is the story that I was like, whoa, okay. Devon Alexander to return on July 31st. Fight Lucas Santamaria. Who is that? Lucas Santamaria. Never heard of this guy. Can't lie, never heard of him. 11-2 and 1. Strange. This is such a strange, like, what's Devon trying to do here now? Devon must be about 37 as well, 38. His last fight, I even forgot this. So, it's sad to see the way Devon's going out like this. But Devon's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Devon's had 9 fights since 2013. 9. He's lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. He drew 1 against Victor Ortiz. That was an interesting fight. But he's lost his last 2. Andre Berto beat him, split decision, and I remember that KO to Red Catch. So, yeah, there was a time, remember, he was the best 140-pounder. Remember that? And then it was that big super unification fight with Timothy Bradley, and there was headbutts, and he didn't want to know. And then everyone saw that chink in the armor, and that was it. That was it. Since then, it was difficult for him. Came back with a couple of good wins. Let's not forget that. Lucas Matisse, Maidana. You know, even though I don't think he beat Maidana, if I remember correctly. Randall Bailey. Randall Bailey, tough, you know. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. Anything else before we quickly back up? Frank Warren, not as confident Joshua beats Usyk. Joyce will keep close eye on outcome. A lot of people are saying this. Not a lot of people, by the way, are saying they're not sure about this fight. That's the beauty of boxing. You're not supposed to be sure. Why do we want a banker? We want to go, or I want to tune into boxing not sure. And that's what gets the heart racing. That's what gets butterflies in the stomach. Name drop here. I spoke to Carl Froch the other day, and he was like, Usyk's a tough fight for Joshua. I was like, yeah, should be a tough fight. What do we want? This is 2 unbeaten fighters going at each other. One, the former cruiserweight king, one doing very, very good stuff at heavyweight. This is it, man. Nearly all the belts are on the line. This should be difficult. Let's just hope AJ can get through it. Peace and love.